Hello everyone. I hope you are having a good week. We are officially into April. In the last video, we sat down together to build those 2026 vision boards. And I just wanted to stop and say thank you. The support you've shown this channel and our first video has been incredible. I'm Sia. Welcome back to my channel. And reading through responses on the form and emails has been so deeply moving. More than that, having one-on-one sessions with some truly incredible women over the last week has confirmed what I already knew. You aren't just watching, you're taking active, fierce steps to transform your lives. Because I want to keep these conversations deep and impactful, the one-on-one sessions are very limited. If you find that you could not grab a session with me through the link in the description, please don't let that stop you and your progress. Send me an email. I've made it a priority to respond to every single one of you who is serious about this work. Whether it's a session or a deep dive email, I am here to make sure you stay on track. I also have a specific form for those who want to work with me on goal tracking and execution. It is linked in the description below, so make sure to check that out if you're ready to take the next step. Visualization is the beautiful first half of the equation. It's like the Pinterest board for a house you're about to build. But the second half, that's the blueprints. You can't live in a picture of a house. You need the structure to make it stand. We are going to reuse the 2026 goal blueprint template from our last session. If you're new here, you can watch the first video to catch up, or simply grab the template I've linked in the description below. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. You're looking at your life and seeing a calendar full of demanding jobs, family commitments, kids, or exams. You might feel like there isn't room for you in your own day. But listen to me. It is absolutely required that you follow through on these goals for yourself. This isn't just another chore to add to your list. We are going to approach these goals in a way that allows you to actually enjoy the journey, not just the destination. If your goals feel like a path to burnout, you're doing it wrong. Success in 2026 should be fun. It should feel like a life that is good to live. Not just one that looks good on paper. Today is about moving from what I want to how I'm getting it. Step 1. Stop trying to do everything at once. The fastest way to fail your vision board is to try to manifest every single image on it by next week. I know that burst of inspiration you want to overhaul your career, your fitness, and your habits all at once. But beauties, listen to me. When you attack 15 goals simultaneously, you aren't being productive. You are triggering a freeze response in your nervous system. Your brain sees that list, gets overwhelmed, and shuts down. This is why you can feel busy all day but end the week with zero real progress. In 2026, we choose strategic focus over chaotic ambition. I hit 60% of my financial goals in 90 days because I stopped trying to be a superhero in every category at the same time. Ambition is like a spotlight. If you widen the beam to cover the whole room, the light is dim. But if you focus that beam on one single point, you can burn through steel. You have to give yourself permission to let some things wait. Right now, look at your blueprint and identify the noise. We are clearing the clutter so your energy actually has the power to create a breakthrough. Focus isn't just about hard work. It's about being smart enough to choose the right goals at the right times. Step 2. Separate serious and fun goals. Now that we've cleared away the noise, let's look at what's left with a bit of kindness. Not every goal on your blueprint needs to feel like a task on a to-do list. In fact, trying to grind through every dream you have is the quickest way to lose your spark. Step 2 is simply about categorizing your goals into two groups, serious and fun. This isn't about saying one is more important than the other. It's about being honest about the urgency and the outcome of each one. To give you a personal example, for the first 3 months of 2026, my serious goals were my finances and my career. Those required my deepest discipline, my early mornings, and my hardest work. They were my priority because of the impact they have on my future. But at the same time, I am incredibly enthusiastic about traveling, learning how to swim, and my overall fitness. Those are my fun goals. They are just as vital for my happiness, but they don't require that same high-pressure hustle. They are there to give me life, not to take it from me. I want you to take your blueprint right now and label your objectives. Which ones are your serious anchors? And which ones are your fun motivators? Labeling them this way takes the weight off your shoulders. It gives you permission to work hard on what matters, while letting your hobbies and passions stay exactly what they should be. A source of happiness. By the end of this video, you'll see how we use the ripple effect to make sure that the momentum from your serious work actually fuels your fun goals, making them even easier to achieve. Both categories matter. But for now, we just need to know which is which. Step 3. Focus on high-impact goals, that is the 80-20 rule. Now that we have our categories, we're going to get even smarter with our energy. In psychology and business, we call this the 80-20 rule. The idea that you should focus on the 20% of your goals that will create 80% of the change in your life. It's about finding your lead domino. The one win that makes everything else fall into place. Look at your serious goals. If you could only achieve one in the next 90 days, which one would have the biggest ripple effect? Think about it this way. If your high-impact goal is financial stability, that success ripples out to fund your fitness memberships, your shopping, and your health goals. If your career goal is moving abroad, that one achievement automatically checks off your travel goals. You aren't doing more work. You're just picking the one goal that unlocks the others. Often, we get caught up in productive procrastination, doing small, easy tasks to feel busy while avoiding the one big, slightly scary goal that actually moves the needle. Be honest with yourself. Don't just pick the easiest task. Pick the one with the biggest outcome. When you pour your focus into the 20% that matters most, you stop running in place and start being truly effective. Choose your heavy hitter. That is where the momentum begins. 4. Choose one primary focus per quarter. Once you've identified your high-impact goals, you need to give them a timeline that actually respects your reality. Step 4 is about choosing just one primary focus per quarter. The reason most people feel like they're failing is that they try to cram a year's worth of transformation into a single month. In our 2026 strategy, we give each major goal its own season. For me, the first quarter of this year was entirely about finance. I had to be incredibly intentional. Whenever I had extra time or mental energy, it was dedicated solely to that purpose. Now that we've entered quarter 2, my primary focus has shifted to career and this channel. Open your 2026 Goal Blueprint template now. In the quarterly section, I want you to write down your focus for this specific 90-day block. You don't have to map out all 4 quarters perfectly right this second, but looking at your serious category, you should have a clear idea of which goal needs to be executed first based on urgency. By picking one North Star for these 90 days, you eliminate decision fatigue. But more importantly, you ensure that you actually see results by the end of the quarter. Nothing kills momentum like working on 10 things and seeing 0 progress. When you focus, you get that win. That win fuels your motivation for the next quarter and prevents the disappointment of feeling like you're standing still. Giving a goal its own season isn't slowing down. It's ensuring that by the end of the 90 days, that goal is actually finished, not just half-started. Pick your focus for this season, and let's make it happen. Step 5. Limit primary goals and keep others in maintenance mode. Now that you have your North Star for the quarter, we have to talk about what happens to everything else. This is where many people get overwhelmed. They think if they aren't grinding toward every dream simultaneously, they're failing. Step 5 is about limiting your primary goals and moving the rest into maintenance mode. In any given season, you should only have 1 or 2 primary goals. These are the objectives that get your peak energy and deep focus. Everything else on your vision board stays on the map, but it shifts into maintenance. The hack for maintenance goals is simple. Stay consistent. Moving a goal to maintenance doesn't mean you stop. It means you stay intentional with less pressure. For example, if your primary focus this quarter is finance, your fitness goal moves to maintenance. If you want to lose 3 kilograms in 2 months, instead of an intense 2-hour gym session every day, you might schedule a 20-minute walk 3 times a day or a focused treadmill session. These maintenance activities actually become welcomed breaks from your serious routines. They give your brain a rest from the high-pressure primary work while still helping you build a healthier lifestyle. By doing this, you protect yourself from burnout. You give yourself permission to not be perfect at everything all at once. Look at your template and decide which 1 or 2 goals are your primary focus. And for the others, what is the consistent, manageable routine that keeps them moving forward without making you feel overwhelmed? Success isn't about doing everything at 100% effort. It's about knowing when to push and when to stay steady. Keep your focus sharp on your primary goals and let maintenance keep your momentum alive. 6. Turn vague goals into clear outcomes. Now that we know which goals are our primary focus, we have to make sure they are actually achievable. The biggest mistake people make with vision boards is being too vague. Get healthy. Or make more money. Aren't goals, they are just wishes. Step 6 is about turning those vague desires into clear, tangible outcomes. If your brain doesn't know exactly what success looks like, it won't know how to get you there. You need to define the finish line so clearly that you'll know the exact moment you've crossed it. To give you a personal example, instead of saying, I want to be better with my finances, I said, save X amount and clear this specific debt. It was a number I could track. For my personal growth goal, it wasn't just about general improvement, it was about the impact. When you turn a vague idea into a clear outcome, your strategy practically writes itself. Look at your primary goal for this quarter and ask yourself, how will I know when this is done? Instead of exercise more, say, complete 3 30-minute workouts per week. Instead of travel more, say, book flights and accommodation for a weekend trip in July. Instead of be more mindful, say, meditate for 10 minutes every morning before opening your phone. Instead of get a better job, say, sign an offer letter with a base salary of X amount by the end of this quarter. Instead of learn a new skill, say, become an expert at a skill by completing a professional certification and building one portfolio project. In your template, I want you to rewrite your primary goal as a specific outcome. Don't be afraid to use numbers, specific people, or dates. Clarity is your best friend here. When the outcome is clear, the path becomes easy. You aren't just trying anymore. You are executing a plan. Step 7. Replace motivation with structure. We've all been there. You start the first week of a new goal feeling unstoppable, but by week 3, that initial spark starts to fade. This is why most people quit. They rely on feeling instead of consistency. Step 7 is about moving away from motivation and leaning entirely on structure. Motivation is a feeling, and feelings are unreliable. They change based on how much sleep you got or how stressful your day was. Structure, however, is a system. It's the safety net that catches you when your willpower is low. When you rely on motivation, you are constantly negotiating with yourself. But when you have a structure, the decision is already made. You stop wasting mental energy on the if and start focusing on the how. A great way to do this is by using calendar blocks. If you have a fun goal, like swimming, don't just say, I'll go this week. Decide which exact 3 days you are going and block them out. If you have a serious goal, create a dedicated window for it. Now, this doesn't mean you have to schedule every second of your life. We need to leave plenty of space for flexibility, fun, and surprise plans. But having specific blocks ready for your focus time ensures that your high-impact work actually gets done. When your primary goals have a home in your calendar, you stop waiting for a burst of inspiration. Inspiration is a guest that visits occasionally. Structure is the host that keeps the house running. In your blueprint, think about the specific blocks of time you can set aside this week. Success doesn't belong to the most inspired person. It belongs to the person who built the most resilient, consistent system. Stop chasing the feeling and start building the foundation. Step 8. Track your actions and your results. We've set the vision and built the structure, but how do you know if it's actually working? Step 8 is about the data. If you aren't tracking, you're just guessing. To stay on the right path, you need to monitor both your actions and your results. Track your actions. This is about your daily discipline. Did you show up for your calendar blocks? Did you go swimming those 3 days? Tracking your actions keeps you honest and shows you exactly where your effort is going. And then, track your results. This is the payoff. Are you reading more books? Is your savings account hitting those target numbers? Is your expert skill level actually increasing? The reason we track both is that results can sometimes lag behind effort. If you only look at the outcome, you might get discouraged and quit too early. But when you can see that your actions are consistent, that you're doing the work every single week, it gives you the confidence to keep going. You'll know that the results are inevitable. They just need time to catch up. In your 2026 goal blueprint, use the tracking section to log your weekly wins. Whether it's a simple checklist or a monthly review, make your progress visible. Seeing your consistency on paper is the best way to prevent disappointment and keep your momentum high. Don't just work hard. Work smart by knowing exactly where you stand. When you track the journey, you turn hope into a measurable strategy. Step 9. Expect resistance, it's part of the process. I want to be very real with you. The moment you start moving toward a version of yourself that you've never been before, you're going to feel a natural tug back toward what's comfortable. This is about meeting that resistance with kindness and understanding. Resistance isn't a sign that you aren't ready for your goals or that you're going to fail. In fact, it's the opposite. It's a sign that you are actively expanding your horizons. It's just your brain's way of navigating change. It might show up as a little bit of hesitation before a big task or the urge to stay in bed on a rainy morning. Instead of seeing these moments as setbacks, I want you to view them as growth markers. When you feel that friction, meet yourself with grace. If life gets busy and you have to shift a calendar block, don't let that discourage you. Just acknowledge it with a smile. Say to yourself, I'm stretching myself today, and it's okay to take a breath. By accepting that the path won't always be a straight line, you give yourself the freedom to keep moving forward without the weight of perfection. In your blueprint, take a moment to recognize that you are doing something brave by chasing these goals. When things feel a little heavy, remind yourself that you are capable of handling it. Success isn't about being a machine, it's about being a human who is proud of their progress, no matter the pace. You've got this, and you're doing much better than you think. Keep showing up for yourself. And make the journey beautiful. Work hard. And party harder. The most important thing to remember is that these goals exist for us, made by us. They aren't meant to be a constant grind that leads to burnout. Step 10 is about balancing the serious with the fun so the journey actually feels worth it. If you have a girls' night or a girls' trip on your vision board, don't just wait for it to happen. Plan it. Place these moments intentionally within your schedule. You can use them as a reward for hitting a serious milestone, or better yet, schedule them right in the middle of a high-pressure week as a healthy recuperation break. Think about the experience goals on your board as the reward system. If you've been consistent with your focus blocks, reward yourself with that new restaurant you've wanted to try. Or as planned recuperation. If you have a week of intense work, follow it up with a weekend that is 100% dedicated to surprise plans and fun. Or as the why. Remember that trying new things and enjoying your life is what keeps you happy and energized enough to handle the serious tasks. When you treat your fun goals with the same respect as your career or fitness goals, you prevent burnout before it even starts. When you treat your happiness as a non-negotiable, the work part of your goals becomes much easier to handle. Hold this mindset close to your heart. Work hard, but party harder. Make sure your fun goals have a dedicated space in your calendar right alongside the serious ones. Always remember, life is a beautiful journey that is meant to be embraced and enjoyed every single day. So that is officially it. That is how we move from just having a vision to actually building the structure that makes it real. We are moving past the dreaming phase and straight into the doing phase. By leaning on your new structure, tracking your wins, and making sure you're actually having fun along the way, you're making 2026 a year you'll truly love living. Before you head out, I have just a few quick things for you. First, if you haven't yet, definitely grab the 2026 Goal Blueprint linked in the description. It's the exact map for everything we talked about today and makes the whole process so much easier. Also, if you're looking for some extra support, check out the link for the Goal Tracking and Execution Form. I'm offering these one-on-one sessions completely for free because I am so invested in seeing you succeed. Since I want to keep these conversations deep and impactful, the spots are limited, so go ahead and grab one while you can. If they happen to be full, please don't let that stop your momentum. Just send me an email. I'm here to help you stay on track. And of course, we are just getting started, so stay tuned for our next video where we'll dive even deeper into making these goals a reality. I'd love to hear from you in the comments, too. Tell me which fun goal from your vision board you're officially blocking out time for this week. Whether it's a trip or a new hobby, let's celebrate those wins together. Thank you so much for being here and for being such a fierce part of this community. I am so incredibly proud of the steps you're taking. Always remember that life is a beautiful journey that is meant to be embraced and enjoyed every single day. Work hard, party harder, and I'll see you in the next one.